don't think there's going to be a time of day where someone is not mowing their lawn. So here we are. If you can hear lawns being mowed in the background, well, it's just that time of year. I look crazy. I just got home from some appointments and I've decided to shop my stash again before summer is over. Usually I do this seasonally and I don't know, I'm just feeling like I need a change. So I'm going to show you guys what I've been using for the last couple of months, and then we're going to go in and choose a few new items to focus on before summer is over. Right now it is like mid-August and the weather is starting to take that turn to feel a little bit more like fall, but I'm not quite in like the fall vibes yet. So we're going to do like an end of summer shop my stash. I got a little Georgie, your ear is wet. Did you just dunk it in your bowl of water? Wow. Where's Betty? There's Betty. Hi, girls. You want to help mommy pick out some makeup? Couple of muffin heads. We're going to hear dog nails clicking around and lawns being mowed. So this is the drawer I have been working out for summer. I also have a couple of palettes on top here. I had the Colourpop and Kathleen Lights So Jaded palette. Really still loving this one. There's still some things I'd like to do with this. And then I had the Ofra on the Glow palette as well up here hanging out because they're too big to fit in the drawer. But I've used everything that is in here. A lot of it I've used multiple times and I'm just feeling like I need a change. So I'm gonna empty this drawer out, everything aside from my Project Pan items. And I'll probably keep a couple of things in and swap out a few things. Just need a little refresh for some inspiration. Okay, so this is what the drawer is looking like now. I've got some Project Pan items here. I decided to leave in the Anastasia Luminous foundation. This is the only foundation I have that really matches me right now because I've got a bit of a tan. I've got 230N for the shade here, so I'm going to leave that one in here. I'm also going to leave in the Violet Voss Sunkissed Summer palette. I just really love this one and I've only used it once or twice, so I'm going to leave it in here. I feel like it got buried and I didn't use it as much as I wanted to, so I'm going to leave that one in for the rest of summer. I'm also going to leave out the Ofra palette and the So Jaded palette because I'm still enjoying using those. Otherwise, the only things I've left in are the Urban Decay Moondust eyeshadow in Space Cowboy. I'm going to leave that in, and I'm going to leave in the Smashbox Be Legendary lipstick. I've got this beautiful like corally red shade and I haven't worn it yet. This is in the color Power On. So I'm going to leave that in because I don't know if I've worn it or not. I'm going to leave that in. Okay, going into my lips category here, I'm going to pull a couple of these like balmy lip tints. I had these in, I think, the last rotation and I've been missing them. I also wanted to pull in the Tower 28 Juice Balm in the shade Mix. These are the shades here. I've got the Persona Ebalm in the shade Manifest. That's this white one here. And then I've got a pink one and that's the Tower 28 one. It's more of a nude, but they're all that sort of tinted lip balm that I'm really loving right now. And the other lipsticks that I'm going to pull in are these two. These are both discontinued. This is the Urban Decay Vice lipstick in the shade Streak. Everything is rolling off of my table right now, but it's sort of a corally peachy pink shade. It's a little bit more sheer and it's like a moisturizing formula. And the other one is the Bite Beauty Amuse Bouche lipsticks in the shade Sangria. Of course, we know Bite Beauty is no longer, but this is a beautiful hot pink, perfect for this time of year, and I definitely should be using this while I can. And that's all I'm going to grab out of this lips drawer. Down here, I've got blushes, bronzers, highlights. I've got all the things in here. I think for a powder bronzer, I want to pull in the LYS. I have the No Limits matte bronzer in the shade Harmony, which is their medium shade. Looks like this. This will give me a nice matte bronzer formula. Pretty much everything in the Ofra palette is like a shimmery sort of bronzer, so this will give me a good matte one, and it's a little bit deep for me to use in the winter, so now is the time for that one. And I wanted to bring back the Ace Beaute Ultimate Sculpting Face Palette. I think this was also in my last Shop My Stash, not the one for summer, but the one for spring. And these two shades here are a little bit deep for me normally, but I think I could use this one right now because I am more tan. So there's dog hair in this. Please don't judge me. The dog hair is everywhere. I don't know what to tell you. It's in the makeup, it's on my clothes. So I'm going to pull this in for a cream bronzer formula. I used this Fenty Beauty one a ton in the last rotation, so I just wanted to have something different for like a cream bronzer option. So that gives me some powder bronzers, a cream bronzer. I'm gonna need highlight. So I've been thinking about pulling in this one here. This is from Floss Beauty. This is like a cream to powder formula. It's in the shade Sunbeam. It's a really beautiful champagne color. And I like this one because it almost dries down more like a powder, so it doesn't mess with my makeup too much. So I'm gonna bring that in. And I thought I would also bring in this one from Merit. This is the highlighting balm in the shade Bounce. This one's the darker. There's more dog hair. Oh my heavens. This is the darker of the two that I have. The other one is called Kava. This is more of a rosy kind of color, where the other one is definitely more like golden, as you can see. So it gives me a couple options in a cream formula. And then for a powder highlight, I just thought it might be fun because there's a bunch in the Ofra palette, of course, but I thought it might also be fun to pull in this Artist Couture one. It's one of those, like it's a golden highlight, but it's called Purple Dream, and it has a little bit of a purple sheen to it. So I thought that might be fun for something just a little bit different. And then I'm going to bring in some blushes here. I think I'm going to bring in this one from Merit. This is the Persimmon shade. This is like a burnt orangey color. Again, not my perfect shade in the winter time when I'm more pale, but this time of year I think this color might be really great. So I'm going to bring that in. I also thought I'd bring in this Arbonne one. I usually use this more in the winter time. This was gifted to me by a friend, but it's in the Poinsettia shade, but it's dark. It's like a berry kind of a color, right? Like I think that could be really cool, especially now that I have a little bit of a tan and it's not going to be so deep on my skin tone. And then the last one I thought I'd bring in is the Milk Makeup. It always comes apart, like the bottom piece always falls off. I have the shade Work. This is their lip and cheek stick. And then it wouldn't be summer if we didn't bring in the Milani Luminoso baked blush. I haven't had this one in yet this summer, so it's time. Why does it get like this? Is my makeup gross, you guys? I'm sorry if it is. So I'm going to bring that in. And then for something a little bit more cool toned that's a powder, I'm going to bring in the Laura Geller baked blush in the shade Tropic Hues. Going for the baked blushes, I guess, for my powder formulas. Down here in this drawer, I have foundations and primers and concealers, and I'm not going to bring anything in out of here. I do have a concealer in my current project pan. I also have my Anastasia foundation in the drawer already, and I have a primer that I'm really focused on in my project pan as well. So I'm going to leave all of this as is. Look at this little snuggler. She just lays on that thing. If I'm in here, she just lays there. That's really cozy, huh? Wow, good Georgie. Okay, in this drawer, right here on top, I have a new Natasha Denona palette. This is the Fez palette. I got this in a BoxyCharm. It did come with one shade broken, and I just pressed it down with my finger. I was going to repress it like with the alcohol the way that I normally do, but it's such a soft formula. I pressed it down with my finger. I'm going to see if that stays for now, because I'm scared to mess with the other ones. Like I'm scared to repress that with these right next to it. I probably could take the pan out. Anyways, long story short, I'm going to bring this one in, and if I have to repress that one, I will, but I haven't even tried this one yet, so I think it's time to put it into the rotation. And then I'm going to do the Tigi quad in the Lush color variation. It's got this like rosy pink and the teal and the peach. I think this could be fun for just like a simple like peach all over the eye maybe, and then do like a wing with the teal or something. Just some simple eye looks. I love to have smaller palettes available to me in the summertime, especially I'm doing a lot of quick on the go type of makeup. I also thought I brought this with me when I traveled recently, and I didn't end up doing any eyeshadow while I was away, but I thought this is such a good little summery palette. This is the Smashbox Cover Shot palette in the Ablaze variation. This is like very similar vibe to the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette. As you can see, it's some nice like warm tones in there, some bronzy golds and things like that. I think that could be really good. I also always bring in like a liquid shadow of some kind because I'm forever worried about these drying up on me. So I think I'm going to grab this one here. This is the Galactic in the shade Glam. It's just like a bronzy, but it's like a rosy bronze. It's really pretty. So I'm going to pull that in, and then I'm going to bring in this Colourpop. I love this one. It's one of my faves. It's the Super Shock Shadow in Set to Stun. I think this is going to go well with a palette that I'm going to pick next. And then into my palettes here, look what I bought myself, you guys. Look what I did. This has been on my wish list. This is the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette. This has been on my loves list on Sephora forever, and it went on half price one day, and I decided to treat myself, and then I have never used it. It's so gorgeous. I can't wait. So I feel like I've been kind of saving it because, I don't know, I do that. I buy new things and then I save it. So it's time to stop saving it and try it and put all the things on my eyeballs. So, and this rotation will also take me into like my anniversary and my birthday. So I'm going to have some special occasions. So I want to bring in this one and my other favorite palette, which is the Natasha Denona Retro palette. I love this one so much. Looks like this. It's absolutely stunning. It's my favorite palette in my whole collection. You can see there's like a vibe that I really like, these sort of pinky blush tones. So I'm gonna bring those two in. The other one that I was thinking about is this one from Colourpop. It's Discontinued. It's the Dream Street palette. Again, another collaboration with Kathleen Lights. Looks like this. Great little summer palette. Love this little like almost duochrome kind of shade there. All kinds of easy looks in here, but also some like fun pops of color that I thought could be great. And then the last one I'm going to bring in is this Tarte palette. This is the Tarteist Pro Amazonian Clay palette. I don't think you can get this one anymore, but I've been thinking there's a few palettes in my collection that I've been thinking about decluttering, and this is one of them. I feel like I should like this one more than I do. Every time I use this, I feel like I don't love it. So, but I feel like I go to the same shades every time. So I'm going to try to play around with some of the shades that I don't normally use and see, like, do I really not like this palette, or is there like a couple of shades in here that are dead? So that is going to go in as well. So this is how everything is looking now. Nice and full, nice little change of pace. So I've still got the Ofra palette and the Colourpop So Jaded palette here on my desk because they don't really fit. And then I've got the Tarteist palette underneath here, and the rest of the palette sort of lined up there. I've got bronzers and, you know, my project pan. I've got blushes. I've got like special eye things, highlights, lip products, a little bit of everything here. Nice little refresh. I think this is going to help make me feel a little bit more re-inspired. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below what products you've been loving for summer, what you're shopping your stash for right now. I always love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon in another video. Bye!